Well, I have been away for some time, and no, that's not because I've been busy, well, sort of, but because I've been incredibly lazy. But of course, Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord have started posting developer blogs once every 2 weeks instead of once every week, so I've sort of been let off, meaning that they're being lazy, so I get to be lazy. But welcome back to another Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord developer blog, and the last developer blog talking about sieges in depth. Today we're going to be looking at the assault phases, going in and attacking them, penetrating their walls and getting right inside. But before that, a sponsored message. This video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Forget everything you know about mobile games, because one of the most ambitious RPG projects of 2019 has been released. It can only be compared to the biggest PC and console titles, but best bit, it's totally free and you'll get it on your smartphone. Raid has all the features that you can expect from brand new RPG titles, like an amazing storyline, amazing 3D graphics, giant boss fights, PvP battles, and hundreds of champions to collect and customize. But don't take my word for it, over 10 million players worldwide have already downloaded the game in less than 6 months. In Raid, you have the ability to personally customize your champions, choosing their artifacts and creating new, unique mastery builds for each one of them. It has over 300,000 reviews and almost a perfect score on the Play Store. So I mean, what do you have to lose? Personally, I love the way they push the mobile system and fighting with boss battles against other people. The game is growing super fast, and the highly anticipated new Faction Wars features is now live. So what are you waiting for? Go to the video description, click the special links, and you'll get 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player program to start your journey. Tail would say it's their goal to enhance sieges in their entirety, ranging from tricks you can employ to indirectly weakening a settlement before laying siege, all the way through to driving the last defenders from the keep. Now, we've talked about the bombardment phase, which is before you get into the siege on the world map, and now we're moving into the assault phase. But assaulting a castle isn't something that you should do lightly. You need to consider it and work out the best way of going around it, and in the first place, working out if it is the best thing to do for your party at that time. I mean, of course, a castle will be incredibly well defended, and they can also call on local militia and alliances if they need to when it comes to it. But more often than not, they will actually have quite a lot of garrisoned professional troops in the castle. So you're going to have to assess them, scout it out, and see what troops they have initially to whether it is the right castle for you in order to take. We do know in Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord that you can employ a governor in your castle, but not only can you do that, of course, so can the AI. So each castle that you come across will have a governor overseeing its defenses. Sometimes they can decide to bolster those defenses if they feel like they're going to be under threat pretty time soon, meaning that their siege engines are going to be more powerful and their garrison quality is going to be a lot better. But once you've gone into the map and you've decided to siege this castle, you'll be taken into the assault phase and looking at the deployment screen. Now, each castle will have 3 sections that are open to attack. Improving upon Warband's one main place that you can actually attack, Bannerlord, you now have a multiple choice when you come to actually attacking these castles. Maybe you're going to go up the ladders, maybe you're going to try and bash through the gate, or maybe you're going to try and go through a breach that you have made previously in the bombardment phase. Now, there has been the question of, can you break down walls? Now, we have seen that with siege engines and catapults you can knock bits off the wall, but it doesn't look like we can make full breaches on the assault phase. This has to be done on the bombardment phase, which does make a lot of sense. When you go into the bombardment phase on the world map, you can choose to hammer down their walls with your artillery if you have it. Then when you load into the assault phase, these walls will already be breached. Your troops will then, once you start their battle, begin to attack according to the way that you deployed them. For example, some people might go through the breach that you put them close by, some guys might try and climb the ladders or get into a siege tower, or some people might be pushing the battering ram with people behind ready to charge through after the gate has been taken out, and the AI will do this automatically. Now, you can have control over it if you want to. You can choose to command a few of these units, a few of these troops, and decide what they do, or you can choose to command, a lot like in Warband, all of them. Or if you just want the battle to carry out and you maybe control a very small unit of your elite guys to go around the side or push through a small breach while the AI takes control of the rest of the army, that is also a possibility, and that can be done. But what other changes are there to the AI? Well, let's talk about the attacking AI. It has been greatly improved over Warband to the point where they're not just going to charge up one ladder and get completely destroyed at a choke point on the top of your wall. They're going to make checks whether to determine how and where it will launch its assault, and of course, if it's going to choose to assault in the first place. It does this by assessing its own strength and then that of its opponents, and it will choose either to press with a coordinated attack on many fronts or attempt a concentrated assault through the weakest point. Maybe you have massive walls that haven't been breached. Going up ladders perhaps isn't the best way for the attacking AI to choose to go, because they'll lose many men, but if you have a weaker gate, that is the point they're going to concentrate on. Or maybe it's a pretty big and even battle, so they're going to have to split your forces, attacking at these 3 different points throughout, or even just going 1 or 2, choosing where and how they go about taking your castle. But what about the defending AI? What if you're the one attacking? Well, the defender does a similar thing. It assesses its chances for winning the battle. If it's heavily outnumbered, it's going to make much more defensive tactics, blocking certain points and trying to choke up certain bits of the castle. If they heavily outnumber you, they might just full out stand their guard as you smash into their shields. But let's say the enemy is bringing a siege tower from the left side and has ladders on the right side. If the attackers are threatening both sides, since the ladders are easier to defend against, the AI that's defending will concentrate more troops on the siege tower sides, since it's harder to defend against them than it is ladders, so it's going to bolster that side. If the attacker's trying to be a bit tricky and attack purely from the ladder side with all of its troops, the defending AI will realise this and bring the bulk of their infantry to defend that side. The defending AI can also relocate its archers with similar reasoning. I love the fact that you're not just limited to what the AI can do. It almost has as much, if not more, control than the player when it comes into these battles. It's not just going to hold one point and going to be a massive slugfest, a bit like in Warband. It's going to choose where it defends and how it defends, and this might change throughout the battle. Maybe you're completely destroying one part of the enemy's defenses, so they're going to bring more guys up from another breach that isn't having as much trouble and try and reinforce their side that is about to fall. And this just adds an extra level and dynamic difficulty to Bannerlord's games. If the enemy cannot or does not attack from one side, defending archers will leave positions that can only cover that side. So there's not going to be troops standing around doing nothing. They're not going to be archers that are covering a side that you're not attacking on. They're going to be making sure that all their troops are at full effect at all time if needs be. But when a wall or a checkpoint is about to fall, archers on a nearby wall may be sent to bolster the numbers in hand-to-hand combat. Not just sticking around and shooting their own troops in the back, but getting those knives and getting in there, down and dirty. But what about retreating? What if your men aren't doing very well, or you're completely destroying them and the enemy aren't doing very well? Well, we do know that you can go back and defend the keep as a last defense for the castle. And this will also be the hardest part for the attackers to get in. Whilst they may heavily outnumber the defenders that are scrambling for their last defense of their castle, these guys are desperate, and they'll be choke pointing certain places in the keep, making it very tricky to get in. But soldiers can also just run away based on their morale. If they see so many of their own guys falling next to them, they're not going to want to stay there for much longer. The AI tries to estimate whether the attack or defense can succeed or not, and if retreating will only yield more immediate casualties. So the AI can calculate whether or not it's worth retreating compared to standing their ground and holding it for the last man. If they think they're going to get away with way more men by retreating now, that's what they're going to do. But if they think they can just hold it, or the immediate casualties from retreating is too high, that's probably not going to be an option. Now, to finish this video, I just wanted to show you in full size the screenshot that I've put in the thumbnail. It is a screenshot released in this developer blog, and it looks goddamn awesome. You can see the gun, the ballista on the wall, and you can see the attacking armies camp way off in the back. And I just want to show you how big the scale of this game is. It is so much bigger than Warband, to a massive scale. There's nothing quite like it at the moment, and this is just showing it from the castle walls outwards. So all you can see here is outside the castle. Added that maybe half more, maybe even double in the interior of the castle as well, with the streets being barricaded up onto this picture, you have got a massive sense of how big these battlefields will be in Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. Now, quickly before I end the video, I just want to add that Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord has updated their Steam page for a release date of March 2020, which, yes, we did know that's when Early Access has come out, but I thought you guys would just want to know that it has been put on the Steam page, so it is all official now. It is going to be coming out in Early Access in March 2020, so make sure you get ready for that release date. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But until then, I will see you in the next one.